I'm here today with a very dear friend, very special guy, Stirling Cooper. Many of you know him from his adult work or his work as a men's sexuality coach. I actually know Stirling Cooper for a different reason. I got to spend some time with him on two different occasions, and I sort of found out that he was more of a business guy, very well spoken, very interesting dude. So we're gonna cover some parts of his personality on this show. Stirling, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Arno.
Can you let me start there. Can you sort of give me like an overview of how you became Stirling Cooper? Like what's the origin story of your supervillain persona?
The origin story of the supervillain. All right. There's a lot of different ways to kind of tell this story. But I'm gonna because you talk mostly about like business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and come at it from a different angle to what I would normally come at this origin story. So I in my mid-20s, I had a couple of I had a university degree. I have a chemistry degree, which I don't use. Used it for like a couple of years and was like working alongside middle-aged Karens and dudes who were obviously in sexless marriages. And I thought, this is not where I want to end up.
Yeah.
Like working that kind of office, not really an office job, it was a lab job, but working that. And I'm like, these are the people I do not want to be.
At that time, how old are you?
You see, I'm probably 23, 24.
Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah.
Just finished university. Got this job. So I saw that and I was like, this is terrible. I need to, and I started reading a lot of entrepreneurship books. I was like, I need to start my own business.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up going to a conference in Lithuania, of all places.
Lithuania?
I went to a youth entrepreneurship conference in Lithuania.
Yeah, makes sense.
Called the Blacksmith Liberty and Entrepreneurship Camp.
Okay.
They still exist to this day. They're still running. And what they do is it was run by these 4 self-made American millionaires, and people under the age of 25, I believe at the time at least, you would do like a video application, and they'd pick out 50 people from all over the world and invite you out. And they'd mentor you for a week straight, completely for free, put you up in a cabin in Trakai, in Lithuania for free.
Wow.
Just straight mentoring. Like it was basically like charity work for these guys.
Unbelievable.
One of the you might even know one of the guys, Craig Ballantyne.
I know. Yeah.
He was one of my first ever mentors.
I never knew. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Great guy. Really great guy. When I met him, this was 10 years ago when I met him.
Yeah.
Super fit. Like the guy was like, I mean, he was probably in his 30, like mid to late 30s, but at that point, I think.
Yeah.
And he had there was guys like us in like our early 20s, and he was just smoking us.
Wow.
Absolutely smoking us with his fitness. I'm like, this guy is impressive.
Yeah.
But that was my first kind of exposure to entrepreneurship and principles like that. And one of the key things they taught me at that conference was to think of money as compressed time. So as an example, a practical example, let's say my sink gets blocked in my kitchen, right? Now I could spend time and energy and focus learning exactly how to fix that problem.
Yeah.
Or I can exchange money and give it to a plumber who has already spent the time and energy developing that skill set.
Yeah.
And then I free up my time to do something else.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a very good way of looking at it.
Yeah. So that was kind of
like in your career, did you play a plumber?
Many a time, yes.
Okay, so you made up for it, in time. Okay.
I can play anything, my friend.
Yeah.
It's one of the beautiful things about being an actor.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Qualifications beyond my actual means.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they taught us to kind of think of money that way. And the second really, really key insight that I got from these guys was to always like focus on adding value. Like this idea of bringing value to an interaction is the way to like, that's how you make money. Like you 100%. Make money by providing value to some people. And generally, if you look at most businesses and most products, most services, what they do is they save people time and energy.
True.
For the most part, right? Yeah. Be it if it's teaching someone how to make money, you're saving them all the years it took you to learn how to make money.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Or if you're teaching someone like a physical skill, a labor skill, anything like this, or if you're providing a product or a service that saves them time, saves them energy, solves a problem, right? So we were thought to think of like products and services and businesses in terms of, okay, what is the value exchange here and what problem are you solving? So I kind of came out of that and I sort of had a new view on the world, and I was kind of looking for problems to solve, not in like a negative complaining way, but more in like, okay, where's the opportunity?
Yeah, obviously.
Every problem is an opportunity to make money.
True.
Right. Yeah. So did that for a while. Ended up starting an underwear business, actually, of all things.
Obviously.
Yeah, failed miserably. That didn't do very well. And then my next business venture, which did pretty well, was a paleo meal delivery business.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That was interesting. Yeah.
Did that for a few years. That was also when I kind of got into like health and nutrition and really understanding how nutrition worked, and got in much better shape, lost a ton of weight, went from being like a super scrawny guy to being like more like thicker and jacked.
Yeah.
Following all those principles. And this business sort of grew naturally from me getting really into paleo diet. And I think within a couple of years, we were doing like $600,000 in rev within a couple of years. Nice. Ended up selling that business to one of our suppliers because I kind of had some conflict with my business partner at the time.
Yeah.
And this is the long-winded way of how I got to where I am now. I was having these conflicts with my business partner, busting my ass, working really hard. And I thought to myself, why am I going through this hell? Like what I like introspective, like what is the purpose? I'm like, well, I want to make money. Okay, Stirling, why do you want to make money? Well, if I'm being totally honest with myself, it's because I want to travel around the world having sex with beautiful women. I'm being totally honest.
It's true. Yeah.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
And so my next thought process was, well, why don't I just cut out the middleman and get paid to do that?
Genius. Yeah.
And and so I sort of looked into like the adult industry. I found out.
Let me stop you for 1 second, if I may. And you ran into some partner problems. This is like a thing that happens a lot in business partnerships. Would you agree when I say that it's very easy to get into things, but it's much harder to get out of them?
Oh, way harder. Dude, yeah. It's so much harder to get out.
We understand it.
Especially if the other guy knows you want to get out. He's going to try and like leverage that shit.
All the leverage,
as hard as you can. So it becomes this, when you end up in this really bad situation, it becomes kind of like this mental war, like almost mental, like a Machiavellian fucking warfare.
Yeah.
Where neither of you are doing the business any good.
And if I'm just speculating here, but usually when this happens, like one of the guys involved is doing way more than the other one of the guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That was me. That was my situation.
Well, I sort of figured. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's which is like I kind of pride myself on the fact that I work hard. I have that work ethic.
Yeah. True.
But at the same time, it kind of taught me. It taught me a couple of things. It taught me to like be very, very careful about who I do business with, obviously.
Yeah, what you get into. Yeah.
And it taught me to have a lot more respect for my time and my energy.
Yeah, true.
Not get taken advantage of that way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Where you start out with the best of intentions and you assume that the other guy has them as well. And then shit happens and you end up in a situation that you don't want to be in, and it's rough. All right,
but it's lessons learned.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can always. I think this is the best way to approach life in general. You can always take absolutely anything that happens to you and flip it into the positive.
100%. Yeah,
like,
couldn't agree
more. I don't care
more.
what happens. Like you can find a way to make it, even if it's just a learning lesson.
Yes.
You know, what not to do next time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No,
I even had
true. 100%.
I even had an old an old college friend of mine actually say this to me when I was running this business. And he saw it was doing, you know, kind of relatively well.
Yeah.
And he was a bit jealous because he was working for the government at the time. He'd been working a government job for like, you know, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The same desk job. And he like super low pressure, as a government job is. And he said to me, he said, I wish I had the balls to take the kind of risk that you took. And I thought about that for a second, and I thought, where's the risk?
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to work a career. So I'm not sacrificing, you know, a career. Yeah. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be my own employer, right?
True.
And if I fail, then all I've done is learned a whole bunch of lessons on what not to do the next time.
Yeah.
So there's really no downside. It's all win.
Beautiful.
I don't see the downside.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Yeah. That's a different way of thinking, right? Because I mean, if you buy into the whole idea of, you know, I mean, in a way, it's almost very much people driven in the sense that you look at what other people think of you, and then every decision you make is based on that. Like, what if I start a business and I fail? And I mean, you and me, we're like, yeah, okay, then I fail, and then, you know, life goes on. And if you work for the government, that will be like the end of your, you know, the end of your existence. Holy shit! You know, what if I fail? Yeah, well.
Now I have to work in the private sector. Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, nobody cares anyway about you, right? Nobody cares a single fuck about you.
Nope.
It doesn't matter.
Nope. That's the thing. Yeah. People give too much power to others.
Yes.
They give too much of their power away in caring what others think of them, in caring about, you know, their public image, or like not having this sort of, life isn't a video game. Like, no. You know, you don't have to like go from the start to the finish and with zero fuck ups.
No, true. Yeah.
You know, you're allowed to fuck up. Yeah. And you're allowed to learn from that. And that builds your character. That makes you a stronger, better man, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like you and me, like we're of a similar age. Like when you and I did video games, like Super Mario, it's like going from one level to the next. Like these days, you have side missions, you have all sorts of stuff you can do, like open world. Like that's real life, right? Yeah. You can do all sorts of things. It's fine, right? You don't have to do Super Mario. Although, I mean, Super Mario is a plumber, and you were a plumber as well, so you know.
True. This is very true.
You laid a lot of pipe. So
maybe that's what inspired me. Maybe all those years just playing Super Mario, I finally figured it out.
Laying all that pipe. Yeah, no, I understand. All right, but you know, so I interrupted you. So now you're looking at, you want to make money and you want to, you know, date beautiful ladies, which is great. So what happened? Like what age are you? 25, 26?
29.
Okay.
29 when I decided to get into the adult entertainment industry. And I basically just did my research. I can be kind of autistic when I need to be. So good. I went full autism mode.
Yeah. Hashtag me too. Yeah.
On Twitter, and basically reverse engineered the Australian porn industry. Like, okay, who are the directors? Who are the actors? Who are all the studios? Where do they shoot?
This is pretty impressive, by the way, because, you know, since we're of similar age, like the internet, I mean, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago wasn't the same as it is now, right? It wasn't as easy. Like it was more involved getting to the knowledge you needed, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But you're looking into the Australian porn scene because you're in Prison Island at this time.
Well, it wasn't Prison Island yet.
Okay, good. So there is an Australian porn scene.
Yeah, a very, very tiny one.
Fuck if I know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like I didn't know it existed until I started looking for it. I really had no clue. And then I found it. I was like, oh, holy shit, this thing actually exists.
Yeah.
But it's all shot out of Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay.
On the East Coast. And I'm living at the time, I'm living on the West Coast in Perth, about a 5-hour flight away.
Okay.
So basically what I did was I filmed some demo footage with a friend and
wait. You filmed demo footage with a friend? That sounds a little suspect.
Well, she I was like, hey.
Oh, she was a she.
Of course it was a she.
No. You scared me for a second there, man. Holy shit.
I was basically like, look, I'm trying to get into porn. Do you mind if we have sex on camera? And I like put it in a Dropbox folder and send it to some directors. Okay. And she's like, sure, go right ahead. Yeah, you're really cool about it. And so that's exactly what I did. And I pitched all these directors, cold pitched. I found their emails, like hunted down their emails on like their websites and shit. And just straight cold pitched them through email with this Dropbox. And I got replies and they were like, this is without a doubt the most professional application anyone has ever sent us.
Holy shit.
Because I knew how to stand out. Like I knew, because the other thing I did was I watched, there was a few documentaries, oddly enough, floating around, kind of like semi-reality TV show documentaries, which had been done about the porn industry, just as I was trying to get in. And so I kind of knew what the mentality of directors and managers was.
So what they were looking for.
Yeah. And I knew the mistakes that other dudes were making, which is basically like sending a dick pic and being like, yo, get me into porn, which is what 99% of dudes try to do.
Okay.
So I knew, okay, I'm like, do whatever the opposite of that is, I'm going to do that.
I mean, that's super interesting because I mean, one of the things, like you've been an HU supporter from day one, basically. One of the things that I always say is like the majority is always wrong. Whatever the majority is doing is always wrong, and you're sort of like in a very unrelated field. Like I don't have the adult entertainment campus. I can tell you that. We would have asked you for that, but it's the same everywhere, right? The majority is always wrong, always retarded things. So and did you handle the lighting and the angles? Did you know anything about that?
Oh, dude, I did, and I had no clue what I was doing. Oh, it was so badly produced. Like this demo footage was trash. I wasn't applying to be a cameraman. So
no, okay.
Like you could see like cords in the shot and shit. It was horrible. But my penis was hard the entire time,
good. Yeah.
Which was all that mattered. So I got the job.
Good. Hard penises. I like it. Okay, good. Keep going.
But it's true, man. Like most people would not come to a guy like me with my background and think they could learn anything about business.
Yeah.
Or networking. But my entire like career path has basically been one giant lesson in how to stand out from the crowd. I
mean, that was the main reason why I did the intro like I did. I mean, what I assume it's pretty annoying when, I mean, most people probably know you from your movie work or your sex coaching work, and then they see you as that guy. But I mean, you're a super smart guy, a super business oriented guy, and people don't know. Like they just assume that you're all about eggplants and you know, you have these creative names for it. But you know that.
You know what? And I'm kind of okay with people assuming that. Because I'd much rather people underestimate me.
True.
And then I can just silently in the background, do my thing, make my money, you know, and no one's really coming after me for, you know, or I don't mean coming after me, but no one's trying to get anything from me.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, you sort of autistically reverse engineer what they're looking for, who these people are. So you apply, and your penis is hard, which we all, you know, we support that. Good for you. So now you're flown out to Melbourne. How does that work?
Yeah, so I do for the first two gigs, two different companies. They're like, yo, we'll lock you in for these dates in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know we haven't worked with you, so you have to fly yourself out, but we'll pay you for the gig.
Okay,
I'm
good.
like, cool, done. Flew out, had a buddy who lived in Melbourne. I'm like, yo, bro, can I crash on your couch? I'm going to be doing my first porn shoot. He was like, fuck yes, you can crash on my couch. Tell me about it afterwards. So he was great. Yeah. First scene was like in a hotel next to the Melbourne airport. Super duper nervous, incredibly nervous.
Yeah.
But knocked it out of the park, absolutely smashed it. Director was like, that was fucking awesome. And the female talent I worked with was actually an American girl. They'd flown out, and she'd had a lot of experience, and she was like, "You're really good. You'll do very well at this." Like
So no anxiety, so no problems, no nothing. Just
not the moment I got on set and saw the girl. No, prior to like, because they were actually running late, so they had me just like chilling at the airport for like an hour, and I'm sitting there like,
woo, yeah.
Nerves are building up.
Yeah.
But then once I walked on set and I said hi to the girl, nerves gone, problem over, game time.
Awesome, man. You must have seen like quite a few new performers, right, in your time?
Yeah.
Is that an issue with male talent in general?
You know what? You'll see. The only real time like I'll get to see like new male talent is in like group.
Oh yeah.
So like gangbangs and stuff like that.
Yeah. But you wouldn't bring a new guy in for a gangbang, right?
No, they do. They actually do.
Really?
They bring them in. They bring them in for blowbangs.
Help me out, man. Like, what's a blowbang?
Gangbang, but only the mouth, like only her mouth.
All right. Okay.
So it's the worst possible scene to film. Imagine like.
So you're surrounded by dudes.
Dude, it's horrible. It's horrible, and that's why they throw new guys into it they test out new guys with this crap. So, and I had to do that. I had to go through this ringer when I first went to LA. I had to go through this ringer. So it's like 10 dudes, nude, one chick, and she's only like, so you got 10 penises have to share the one mouth. So you're basically going in a rotation, right?
Yeah.
But the worst part is, so the camera is like there.
It's like musical chairs, right?
Dude, it's like musical. Yeah. It's exactly like that. But you can't like. You're not allowed to like stand in front of the chick and watch her because you'll block the camera shot.
Yeah.
So you have to stand at the back of this fucking wall of man ass and try to get a glimpse of tit in between just to keep your edge. Awful. Yeah.
Keep your edge.
So that's what they use. They test out new guys on those kind of shoots because if there's 10 dudes, if one guy fails, it's not that big a deal. No one they'll cut it out in the editing. No one cares.
Yeah, sure.
So that's actually one of the people don't. Yeah, they'll test new guys out.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got thrown into one of those when I first came out to LA.
But now you're still in Melbourne. You hit it out of the park in your first 2 gigs, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah, then I packed up all my shit, moved to Melbourne. I was like, all right, cool, I can do this. I'm gonna give it a crack. Moved in with a couple of friends who I knew who lived out there. And then I just started hitting up all the directors. Ended up shooting a bunch. I was only there for about 6 months.
Okay.
I'd already kind of strategized my like the next 2 years, no joke.
Yeah.
Of my life, I kind of had planned out to the T.
Wow.
Because I knew exactly where all the porn in the world was shot. I'd figured that out.
Yeah.
I figured, so tiny little industry in Australia, cool. England has a slightly bigger industry. I'm going to go there next. So I'd already got my work visa to move to England.
Wow.
And then I knew, okay, there's some stuff shot in Europe. I'm going to find out how to get to Europe and I'll shoot there for a little bit. And then I'll figure out how to get to America. And it literally, this was my plan from day one. And it played out almost exactly as I anticipated.
Unbelievable.
It was weird.
So in England, what city is it?
You know what? In England, England is probably the most disorganized adult industry because they shoot in all these little tiny villages randomly all over the country. They don't shoot in like London,
big
Liverpool, or Manchester, big city. They shoot in tiny little towns scattered across the countryside, where they can find studios, basically. So
like a studio, is this like a dedicated adult studio? Or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so like for one example, like one studio I used to work for, they would have like, imagine like a warehouse.
Yeah.
You know, and they've just sort of sectioned it off into bits with different kind of themes.
Like an Ikea.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, like a sexual Ikea. Yeah.
Sexual Ikea. We'll keep that in. Yeah, that's great.
Because like one room's like a classroom, one room might be like a locker room, one room might be something like office, and they'll section off the warehouse like that, so they know, okay, we can shoot a bunch of different scenes here. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And then you go from let's see, Australia to England to Europe. Europe is a big place. I lived there.
I was very fortunate actually. I got recruited by Brazzers.
Oh, so really?
The big company. They have one director who shoots a lot of stuff in England, and that's Danny D. He's a big porn star.
He was also a performer, right?
Yeah, he's a big performer. Yeah, one of the most popular ones. Yeah, but he also directs.
I don't know.
He still shoots. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, still shoots. Really great guy too. Really great guy. So yeah, I was lucky enough.
How did you get recruited by him?
You know what? I'd shot for a few of the bigger companies in England, and I guess I just ended up on their radar.
Okay.
So I think I'd done some scenes for Fake Taxi, and they'd done quite well. And I think I might have even hit up his casting director a couple of times, like pitched her a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then eventually she came across, she sort of found the message and was like, let's give him a go. And they gave me a shot. I did quite well. And then the company that owns Brazzers, the same company, it's called Mind Geek. Okay. So they're the biggest company in all of porn.
All right.
They own Brazzers, they own a couple other websites like Babes, I think a couple of other big brands, but they also own Pornhub.
Oh,
they
right.
own the website.
They're huge then.
They're massive, yeah. And they own all their other subsidiary tube sites like X Hamster, RedTube. They own all of these sites.
Wow,
they're massive.
Yeah.
So I shot for Brazzers. They liked my stuff, and then they flew me out to Budapest to shoot a few more scenes for the company, and that's how I got my sort of break into the European scene.
So. And help me out, like the competition between male performers, is that like a big thing? Because you only see a few dudes, right?
Yeah. You know what's? It's interesting. The guys are actually, they're not. You'd think that the dudes would be kind of super competitive and protective of their space.
Yeah,
but they're not. The guys are actually. They don't fuck each other over. They're because I think all the guys kind of understand how hard the job is for us. Like, because the whole scene depends upon the dude. So all the pressure's on the dude.
Yeah.
We're treated like cattle. We're treated like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
The girls make way more money than us. So
is that a thing? Is that real?
Totally. They make like 3 to 4 times what the dudes make.
Holy shit.
Yeah. If you talk about like gender pay gaps, there's actually a gender pay gap, but it's only in my industry.
Yeah. All right.
So
to be fair, I don't really kind of help. I don't know too many people watching porn for the dudes, though.
No, because we're filmed from like the nipples down, man.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So people don't even really recognize us that much.
Yes.
You know. So as long as we can get the job done, it's fine. And the weird thing is, especially in America, not so much in Europe, but especially in America, and actually Australia and England and America, this is actually the case when I went to those 3 countries.
Yeah.
They're desperate for new male talent.
Really?
Who can actually do the job. Well, that's the caveat. Most guys who try can't actually do the job.
You're going to corrupt an entire generation with this video, man.
I don't know, man. Trust me, like I got out of the industry for a reason. It's not. After a while, you'd think it would be. It is fun. Don't get me wrong. It is quite fun to to get paid to have your dick sucked. That's
seems like a male's dream, right?
Yeah, but it also comes with all this other bullshit, like lots of drama, like the girls being. Can sometimes be very dramatic and very narcissistic and a pain in the ass, and it makes your job harder. And sometimes you get a director who's a complete asshole, and he makes your job even harder. And it's like, it just takes the fun away.
Yeah,
from
because you have to perform either way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like one of the most enjoyable experiences as a human has now turned into work.
Wow.
You know,
that's
it'd
pretty
be like
profound, really.
it'd be like drinking professionally,
Yeah.
right?
Try. No, but I get what you mean. Yeah. It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now with what I do now, where I help like coaching guys and helping guys in the bedroom, it's so much more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Work. I get a lot more enjoyment out of it. And I'm able now to have sex with the women that I want to have sex with, like, date and have girlfriends and things like this.
I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing I wanted to ask you, because you've also had like a career or a background in like male companionship, right?
Yeah. I was a straight male companion in Australia as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good that you put the straight male companion before.
Oh, you do. You gotta nail that shit. Otherwise people will just assume.
No, I appreciate it. So I mean, how do you? Let's say you have a client or talent that you have to work with that you don't find really attractive. How do you handle that?
Well, that is why most men can't do this job.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Like, it's gonna be hard, right?
I think this is the thing I found in common with all the male talent I've talked to, is that we have this ability to find something beautiful about any woman.
Oh, wow.
You put any woman in front of me,
yeah,
I will find something.
Wow.
Something. And I will laser like focus on that one thing.
Yeah.
To get the job done, So if she's a big girl, I'm focusing on the titties. If she's like, I don't know, if she's an ugly girl, I'm focusing on her butt, or I'm focusing on like, maybe she's got a great smile, or maybe she's very charming and she's laughing. So I'm focusing on her personality, or maybe she's really beautiful, but she's beautiful, but she's a complete asshole.
Yeah. Well,
in that case, I'm kind of going into a darker place. So you kind of need to adapt to the situation.
Yeah. No, but I do really like that. I mean, that's in a way that's very, that's very beautiful to say. Like every woman that you're with has something that is attractive, right? Yeah. I mean, some hide it really well, but it's still there.
I mean, think of it this way: like some guy is like basically every woman, like some dude will wife her up
100%
and marry her, or like at least have
not
sex.
Only one, like hundreds, probably.
So I'm not like, so in a way, like I'm not the only guy who can find her attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
So
true.
it's more of a case of like the guys who wouldn't find her attractive, they have a certain standard that they will never sort of
deviate from,
compromise on.
Yeah.
Whereas I have no standard. That's so good a job.
Yeah. So the necessary ingredient for being a porn star is having no standard.
Maybe. Or like such a voracious sex drive that it overcomes that. Like, and I've had this conversation with guys before where it's like a girl can be like, there's a difference between attractive and sexy.
Yes. Yeah.
Like sex appeal isn't necessarily related to like symmetry and beauty.
I agree 100%. Yeah. There's just something about, it's hard to put into words, right?
Yeah, man. A girl can be a complete butterface, but the way she looks at you can get your engine going. You're like, oh, that's it. That's what I want. And so I think that's a large part of it is that's the thing I'm looking for.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. That's actually like pretty profound. Like the fact I wasn't expecting this, but it is pretty beautiful.
I'm full of surprises, mate.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So now you're going from England to Europe. And when did you make your move to LA? Because that's the big thing, right? That's the big time.
That was a real big movement for me. So when I was working in Europe, I actually managed to work for Rocco Siffredi. He's quite a world-renowned
Italian dude, right?
Yeah, the Italian stallion, one of the most iconic directors and porn stars ever. So
Yeah.
that was I accumulated all these kind of like, what would you call it? Like not accolades, but like flexes.
Yeah, true. You're
Over the
building
last
up like a
6 months.
resume.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I talked with a couple of guys in Europe who'd been out to America and they'd worked there. And I was like, I figured out, okay, how did you get out there? Who are the agents? How did you get work? And so and like I said, the guys aren't really that that protective. They'll help each other out.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, which is one of the things I really like. The camaraderie amongst the male talent
Wow.
In the industry is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like counter each other.
I assume that's not the same with the girls, though.
No, the girls are quite competitive with each other.
I'm surprised.
And the girls can be really the industry, especially primarily in America, is extremely feminist.
All right.
Super feminist. Yes, super feminist. People don't understand. People have no idea when I tell them this.
Okay.
It's run by feminists. So the women have all the power in the industry, especially in America.
Yeah.
So that like, and primarily it's because of things like Twitter, where if they don't like a male talent, if they don't like a guy, they'll just try to cancel him, and they'll send their fucking 500,000
white knights,
500,000 follower account of fans at the guy, and all these white knights will be like, you know, you're a bad man, you're a bad person because princess here said so. So
I assume by you saying this, you've seen this a few times happen.
I have seen the worst of it, my friend.
Wow.
I've seen we can get to my my quote unquote cancellation story.
Yeah, let's do that.
But this actually happened after I had already kind of been quite successful in America.
Yeah.
But I figured out how to get to America, went out to LA, got myself an agent, and my big breakthrough was working for kink.com.
Okay.
So they do lots of like BDSM and bondage,
the leather stuff and the spanking stuff.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was under the director who I was working under, as a guy called James Mogul. He was one of the pioneers of that website. He's an extremely talented dom. He taught me everything I know about like BDSM, flogging, spanking, bondage. He taught me everything I know about it.
This was all new for you, despite your background in.
I kind of dabbled a little bit in rope bondage. Yeah, but never. But he introduced me. Like, it's kind of fun shooting for a company like that, because you go to set and there's this giant toolbox just full of anything you could possibly think. And it's like, all right, today we're going to use this, and this. I'm like, well, I've never used these things. How the hell do I use this? And he's like, cool, here's how you do it. It's really fun.
Cool.
I'm like leveling up all my skills every time I go and shoot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, but they're a notoriously, they're kind of hard to, they're a difficult company to shoot for, because the scene goes on for a very, very long time. Yeah. So I'm on set for at least 8 to 10 hours for a kink shoot.
Wait, holy shit, really?
Yeah, because it takes a long time to like tie the girl up. So it takes ages. So and the way they do it, right, is they kind of do it in like a 3-act movie. Yeah. Every scene is like 3 acts. Yeah. So you have the intro with like all the dialogue and the setup, and it's like, why are we having sex? Like, why is he tying her up?
Yeah, there's a setup. There's conflict, and then there's a resolution, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then the other 2 parts are typically her in some kind of different bondage scenario. Yeah. So they have to like tie the girl up, get her in a position where she's comfortable, and then we shoot 30 minutes of sex. Yeah. And then they untie her, let her like rehydrate, relax, calm down, whatever, and then we go into the next position where they tie her up again, and we do the same thing again. Yeah. And this takes quite a while.
So it's a whole set piece every time.
Every time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of my job on set is waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sitting around waiting.
So then you get the signal, and you have to get hard. Like,
yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's like go time. All right, cool. Let's do it. Yeah. Holy shit. It's like that, man. But because I was able to shoot for these guys, that gave me and and a few of the girls that I had shot with, they were quite top tier talent.
Yeah,
I was very fortunate, and so my reputation got around that I was a good performer, and that's when my career kind of catapulted off in LA, and from that I'd shot for basically every major company on the planet over the course.
So like in terms of you getting around and you getting opportunities, is how much of that was like natural talent and you being able to get the job done versus you using your networking skills and being, being you?
I think not to talk myself down too much in terms of my ability to get the job done on camera.
Yeah.
But I think it's 80% of my success came down to my ability to understand how to network.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah.
And to understanding the landscape of the industry I was in. Like, who are the key players? Who are the real key talent managers? Who are the really good directors you want to work for?
Yeah.
Like what are their tendencies? What are their proclivities? What don't they like? What do they like? How do I earn their respect? How do I not piss the guy off? How do I leave a good first impression? Like little things, all these things that you would use in a business meeting.
Yeah, it's client management, right?
It's exactly the same principles.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly the same principles.
Love that.
Yeah. And it's learning how to, like, one of the biggest things that I saw was people bad-mouthing other talent when they weren't on set.
Ooh.
And the thing I would pay attention to, okay, why are they talking trash about this person?
Yeah.
Because it's LA, it's a drama industry. Everyone loves drama.
Yeah.
But I'm not participating in the drama. I'm sitting back and listening.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention. Oh, so she didn't like him because he was way too like arrogant with her on set. But she did like this guy because he was really charming and nice. I'm like, cool. Now, and I'm hearing this from a few people. I'm like, all right, cool. This is the way that talent in this city
this is how it works.
Likes to be treated.
Yeah.
And then the directors, okay, as long as if I'm on time, know my lines for the dialogue part, the quicker I can get the director through this stuff without flubbing any lines, the more he likes me. That's easy. I can learn lines.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And the kind of the big secret of the porn industry is that everybody just wants to go home.
Let's get this over with.
That is literally it. That is the secret of success in the industry, is helping everyone go home sooner. Like,
so you have a scene, you get the script, I assume, right?
Yeah.
And then you get your lines, and then I assume that the lines are mostly the preliminary part, and then you get to the sex part, which is the meat of the, without, no pun intended, but the meat there.
Yeah.
And then which part takes longest then?
You know what? It's actually the dialogue part.
No.
The part that everyone skips over takes up like 2/3 of the day. Everyone just glosses over it.
Really?
Every time, yeah. Every time.
That's so funny. Why does it take so long?
I don't know. I don't know why they focus so much time and energy into it. Like, no one is watching this.
No, I don't think so.
Just skip over it. That's cool. I think it's because deep down, all of the directors are still like arts, like film school graduates.
Yes. Yeah.
And they still have that in them. Like, this is cinema.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a good masterpiece.
I'm a director. Okay. No, I see. Yeah, no, I I can sort of get that, that view of things. Like, were you ever under the impression that you were making cinema?
You know what? There was a couple of movies, like full feature-length movies that we did.
Yeah.
Like big, like these productions took like 4 days of filming.
Wow.
To crank out, and it turned into like a legitimate movie.
Yeah.
Those were really fun and very, very we put a lot of focus and energy into the acting.
It's not as cheesy as it usually is.
Yeah, nowhere near as cheesy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because certain companies specialize in like the cheesy stuff. Certain companies specialize in these more like cinematic, like drama pieces.
Yeah.
And so, other ones focus more on just straight up like two people on a couch. Fucking.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and personally, I'm not a bad actor. I'm a pretty good actor, and I actually got nominated for Best Actor twice.
Really?
Yeah. And
because you have your own like awards as well, right?
Yeah. We have our own awards.
Is that a big thing?
Oh, it's massive. Yeah.
Really?
It's massive. Yeah. Every year, the AVN, we have two big ones. There's XBiz Awards and there's AVN Awards. The AVNs are kind of like the Oscars of porn.
What does AVN stand for?
Adult Video Network.
Okay. Yeah. Is there an adult video network? It's
like a magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm not a big, I'm not a big porn guy. So
most people have no idea about this unless they're in the industry. Okay. But it's every year in Las Vegas they hold a big like a week-long convention, and at the very, very end of it is the award ceremony.
Okay. So this is the porn Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And so you get like a nomination, and then let's say you win the nomination. I assume that gets you more roles, etc. Right?
Yeah, it's like an accolade. It's just kind of proof to everyone that you can really get the job done.
Yeah.
What tends to happen though is like the first award is probably the best one because it kind of sets you apart.
Yeah.
Guys guys who've won like male performer of the year, they tend to win it a couple of times in a row.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of like just getting the award in the first place is really the thing that will sort of set you apart.
It's almost like the Mr. Olympia, like when you're the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I see.
Yes, exactly like the Olympia. Exactly like that. Yeah.
It's hard to fall off that, the pedestal, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So you're doing that. Like, how long did you do this in LA?
Let's see. When did I land in LA? I landed in LA in 2018.
All right.
Yeah, and I was in LA until 2021. Yeah.
And at what point between 2018 and 2021 did you get disillusioned?
You know what? It was around about the COVID, when COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
In 2020. So COVID hit, the industry shut down. Basically everyone shut down.
Yeah.
We were one of the first industries to go back to work, oddly enough.
Really?
Yeah, because we get blood tests, the blood and urine tests every 14 days.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Right? And so, okay, we've already got the lab and clinics to do all this stuff. So we started doing COVID testing.
Yeah.
Before seeing, like straight away. Like it probably only took us like a month and a half to get back to work. In LA. Like everyone else was like, isn't that funny? Isn't that exactly. The one like you can't stop us from fucking. We're gonna find a way to keep fucking. We're like, we need to get back to work.
Yeah, we gotta get back to fucking.
That's silly.
Sad.
But that because I was living in LA, and all the lockdowns and stuff hit, and I'm gonna be honest. For the first like week, I kind of believed it. For the first like week.
Oh, I see what you mean, man. Yeah,
like the COVID thing, right?
100%.
Because I saw the same shit everyone else saw, like the videos of people like falling on the streets in China or whatever.
Yeah. People dying in the street.
Yeah, and then, this is the penny dropped for me because I'm living in LA and there's a lot of homeless people in LA.
Yeah,
lots, like under every underpass. And about a week's gone by, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, if this thing is as deadly as they say it is, why the hell is the homeless crackhead not dead?
Yeah, they should be littering the streets with dead bodies.
Surely, like, I have a stronger immune system than the crackhead.
Yes, I hope so.
Something is wrong here. Like, Skid Row should be a graveyard if this thing is actually dangerous.
Yes.
and I sort of I realized that, and then everyone else in my industry was playing like the narrative to the exactly as the mainstream media wanted you to play it.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I'm like, no one else is questioning this bullshit.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
And so that like it was already that environment, that industry is already extremely left-leaning, extremely liberal, extremely feminist. And that was, after 4 years of imagine 4 years of going to work every day, and you have to bite your tongue whenever anyone starts talking about
I feel you, man.
remotely political.
Yeah.
After 4 years, it kind of just started to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
And then the COVID stuff happened. And what I ended up doing was I pissed off to England with a buddy, a good friend of mine, and we broke quarantine and we fled through the Channel Tunnel, through France, and we spent the summer trying to find a place to live that wasn't under COVID rules, and we ended up in Portugal for a few months. In Cascais but then the rules eventually caught up with us. Yeah. By the time I came back, but I basically spent a good 2 or 3 months giving the finger to any COVID regulations we came across. Yeah. Got stopped by the cops on a few different occasions in Spain and France and stuff. It was pretty fun. We actually had it all on film too. We were filming it as we were traveling. So that happened, and then during that time, I had when the COVID stuff kicked in and the industry shut down, it was actually when I wrote my first book. So I'd been planning on writing. Had the plan to write the book for a year, and I was just chipping away at it. And then all this downtime came in. I'm like, all right, screw this. I need a different income stream. Yeah. Smashed the book out, finished it, launched it on Gumroad, and I was very fortunate to get in touch with Rollo Tomasi. Oh, good. Because I was a big fan of Rollo's work. I was watching his stuff, reading his books, and and everyone had, because of the COVID stuff, everyone had started doing OnlyFans. All these girls had signed up to OnlyFans. Obviously. And it became this household word in America. Yeah. That was a thing, right? All of a sudden. Yeah. And Rollo had started talking about that, and I just emailed it. Apparently I'm good at cold pitching people via email. Yeah. Because again, I cold pitched Rollo. Yeah. Yo, I'm a fan of your work. You're talking about this right now. I'm actually in the industry, so I can give you an insight. Yeah. And it was a perfect mix. And that kind of catapulted me into that space. What was your first book? How I Grew My Penis and Other Porn Industry Secrets. And can people still find that? Absolutely, yeah. It's an ebook. It's not a physical book. It's an ebook. Yeah, it's a Gumroad product, right? It's a Gumroad product. I mean, we'll include the link in the YouTube description or the Rumble or whatever. Probably Rumble. I mean, we said penises a few times, so that must be. Yeah. I'm smoking and drinking, so that can't be good. So yeah, you're not. You're a good boy. No. A man of God. I am a man of God. Thank you very much. Exactly. So you write a book about how to grow your penis. And a bunch of other stuff. I look at it I'm actually really, really proud of this book. It's really good. And that's what gets people in the door. That's what gets, because a dude hears that and he's like, wait, really? And that gets him in the door, and I teach them that. And then the rest of the book is about how I, perform, how to do the job I do, right? Yeah. How to perform at that kind of level under that pressure, and all the different biohacks that we use in our industry to get the job done. And so, guys get it. They get a lot more than what they kind of were expecting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you deliver and then even more. Yeah, exactly. So I'm very, very proud of it. I mean, as a, you got, I mean, you're one of probably one of the most experienced dudes I know. And do you know, in how much does penis size matter? You know what? It tends to matter more to dudes than it does to chicks a lot of the time. I thought as much, man. Yeah. And there are some women who are genuine size queens. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? It only kind of matters if you're under average, if you're below average. It's a bell curve thing, probably, right? Yes. Yeah. Yes. I see what you mean. There's been some surveys done about they called it the husband dick survey, where they kind of asked women to rate their ideal length and girth
Yeah.
For a partner. And obviously it's like it's above average.
Yeah, naturally.
But it's something like 8 inches long and like I think like 6 in girth. So it's definitely on the extreme.
Holy shit, that's massive.
Yeah, it's massive. But what you look at is when you look this up, it's like a graph and it's got like it plots, like the girth and the length. And in terms of it colors all the squares in terms of like, green, yellow, and red, like good, okay, or bad, right?
Yeah.
And when things become the only squares that tend to be really bad for women are on the lower extremes.
Yeah.
Right. When the guy's too small lengthwise or too small girthwise.
Yeah,
right?
I see. Yeah.
So with that considered, it's like I look at this for guys, any dudes who are kind of in that below average range. This is a way to like even the playing field for them. Yeah. Where women are just not going to just outright disqualify them because of his package, because of what he was given as a,
But help me out, man. I mean, has it ever happened that, you go on a date, everything's going fine, and then you get to the naked part, and then a chick says, "Nah, you're too small." Does that happen?
Hasn't happened to me. Yes, for damn sure.
No, I mean, in general, like, I mean, if you're a small dude,
I think and this is what I've heard from guys and from girls.
Yeah,
is they'll go through with it, but she will absolutely, like, she is going to be looking for a guy behind his back who can please her sexually.
Yeah.
Because it's just a matter of biology and like mechanics. If the dude is too small, he just can't hit certain points, parts of her vagina that's going to give her the pleasure that a dude who's even average, like 6 inches can do.
No, now that you mention it, I've heard this story, a couple times where she said, "Yeah, I mean, I went through with it, but I just didn't call him back."
Yeah, I don't think women are that heartless where she's just going to like outright be like, put a pants back on again, walk out the door.
Access denied.
But she'll because especially if she's not a virgin, she's going to be comparing him to previous lovers. And if she's not being satisfied in the bedroom, then she's going to look for that satisfaction outside the bedroom. And I know this because I have, unfortunately, I'm not proud of saying this, but I've been the guy that women have come to cheat on their partners with. And that's also why, by the way, I teach dudes a lot more about like angles and like different other things that you can do in the bedroom that will get her off.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was about to ask. Like, let's say I take, not me personally, but we take 2 inches off your eggplant. You have the best names for it, right? Let me just be amateur about it. We take 2 inches off. We take 1 inch off the girth. Now you have a below. I don't know. Maybe you have an average, whatever, right? I mean, you can still blow her mind in the bedroom, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's
because this thing between her ears is her biggest sexual organ.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you know how to stimulate that properly, if you know how, like, this is why I'm quite a big fan of BDSM and Dom, in particular, like Dom sub dynamics.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this stuff. And I learned a lot of this again from my porn career time. That putting a woman in that kind of submissive headspace immediately gets her in a position where she's more likely to orgasm.
Yeah,
she's
true.
Super wet. She's submissive. She wants to be in that headspace. And it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't really matter what you're packing.
No, true. Yeah, that's my point.
If you set the dynamic up in such a way where she's begging and pleading for your eggplant, right? That is a great frame.
Yes.
For the sexual interaction to take place from. So I teach a lot of that. I teach guys.
I love that analogy or that quote about like this being their biggest sexual organ. It's so true. Like it's funny. We had this interview scheduled, and let's say, quick story. I think you'll enjoy this. A while ago, I met I had a date with a beautiful young lady. Date went well. After the date, it went well as well. So I meet her again about a week later. Things go well. Things go well after the date again, and I decide, she's giving off these signals that she likes it a bit rough, right? So I go a bit rough. She loves it. I amp it up, still loves it. I amp it up even more to the point that I'm slightly intimidated. Like I'm obviously not going full force, but I am putting quite some force into it. I'm not thinking like this girl can take a lot of like punishment. Holy shit. It's actually impressive, right? So we're going at it, like fast forward, we finish, and she sort of collapses on the bed like a rag doll. Like all of her muscles go to jelly, like, and it's like, woof. And then I swear to God, Sterling, this is what she said. She says, "Holy fuck." And then the second passes. What the fuck? Second passes again. And now I'm pretty proud, right? I did a good job. And then she starts crying, sobbing. And now, like in my mind, I'm going like the John Travolta meme thing. But I mean, what's going on? Like, I'm confused. And I'm like, I pull her a little closer. Said, "Are you okay?" And she says, "No one has ever done this to me before." And now I'm starting to get like slightly worried. I'm like, shit, was Sterling wrong all this time? Will I have to do this call from a jail cell with you, right? And then second more passes, and she says, "Thank you. No one has ever done this before. I loved every second of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Yeah.
And like, he's vindicated again. He was right all the time.
You know what? That her crying, it's really interesting that this happened, because that will happen a lot.
Oh, really?
If you take a girl to that extreme,
yeah,
it's this massive like catharsis, this huge release.
Yeah, that's a beautiful word, catharsis. That was it. Yeah, it just like the floodgates broke.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's beautiful,
because you're allowed, like when a woman trusts a man,
yeah,
to do more extreme, rough things to her in the bedroom, like he's able to take her to a place that no one else can take her to.
Yeah.
And it's the ultimate level of trust, because the way I kind of explain this to guys is a man's capacity for violence, right?
Yeah.
Is one of the most attractive things to a woman.
Yeah.
And this kind of dominant, rough, shall we say, sexual acts,
yeah,
they directly demonstrate your capacity for violence as a man, but they demonstrate it in a way that it's safe for her.
Exactly.
To see. She can clearly see that you are stronger than her.
Yeah.
Right? If you have the capacity for violence, it means you can protect her.
Yeah.
So there's all this deep, like hardwired stuff that's going on in the back of her head that she isn't even really consciously aware of.
Oh, it's like evolutionary stuff. That's, yeah.
And you're just ticking all these boxes.
Yeah.
By doing these kind of things to her in the bedroom. And that's why she gets such a massive high.
Yeah.
From that whole experience and this catharsis of like, finally, I can be like she can let go of all responsibility.
Let go.
All of it. She is not responsible for anything. When she can trust you like that to do that, she is not responsible for anything that happens, and she can let you be your full self as a man, and she can be her full self as a woman.
Beautiful. And
it's a beautiful thing. That's what I genuinely think that, like that. I think that kind of lovemaking, shall we say, the more rough kind of lovemaking, I think that's actually a lot more like, I think that creates a much stronger bond.
It's more intimate in a way.
It's way more intimate than like the lovey-dovey, romantic, candles, soft and sensual stuff. I think this is way more intimate. and it
Yeah.
bonds you
No,
guys
I
way
agree.
closer.
I 100% agree. Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, man. I mean,
I am vindicated once again.
you're vindicated yet again. Yeah, yeah. I'm not in jail.
Never doubt me.
When she started crying, I'm like, holy shit.
Oh shit.
Did I read everything wrong? Like, so I mean, you learned this stuff. Obviously, like you picked some up in your earlier years, but you learned some of this, like most of this stuff in the kink .com.
You know what?
Kink.com.
I learned. It's a combination of my experience in porn, and in particular working for kink.com. It's a combination of my experience in as an escort.
Yeah.
And then and then obviously my personal dating life,
Yeah.
and my experience when I was in the swingers scene as well, as like a guy in my mid-20s.
But what I'm curious about, like, how do you sort of gauge how rough you go? Like, when is it too much?
Yeah. So on the first encounter with a woman, it's very, very rare for me to ever go like super, super extreme.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unless she is verbally telling me,
Yes.
like, you can go hard. Like, I want you to do this. You can go hard and do this. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Like when a girl is very, very explicit about what she wants. Okay, fine. I know. I know.
Yeah. I'm game. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. What I do, and is what I teach guys as well, is I give guys a few different like cues they can use to sort of gauge her receptiveness to certain things. As an example, right? Like, let's say you want to see if a girl likes to be choked.
Yeah.
Right. What I will always do is I'll put my hand just here at the base of the neck. I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just placing it there.
You're not grabbing the throat. You're just, okay.
I'm just placing it there, right?
Yeah.
And what will typically happen, one of two things will happen, right? If she is not into that at all, then I'll be able to tell that very quickly from her body language.
Bodily response.
She'll get tense. She'll get a kind of scared look in her eyes, or she might even move my hand away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That to me is a clear sign.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Yeah, sure.
She ain't into that. No problem. Cool. Right. The other reaction that you will tend to get is her eyes will light up, or she'll grab the hand, or she'll move the hand up into her neck.
Yeah, pretty clear. Yeah.
Yeah, and this it's kind of like there's no risk for you as a guy to make that move.
Yeah.
To test that way.
It's very good.
That's just one such technique of testing whether that's cool.
Beautiful.
And then then I'll start choking the girl a little bit. Like, I'll start lightly, see how she responds to it, and I just kind of do it in a sense of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I see.
I'll apply a bit more pressure, see how she responds, ease it off.
Yeah.
Do you want more? And so on and so forth. And I'll apply that same principle basically to anything, whether it's spanking, whether it's dirty talk, maybe degrading dirty talk, whether it's bondage, whether it's anything like this. When it comes to like, even something like slapping, like essentially slapping a girl, I'll do the same thing. I'll just start by placing my hands on her cheeks like that and seeing what her response is. Because some girls, well, if a woman has, what I'm actually doing is I'm checking to see if she's had some kind of really negative
experience. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Because if she has, then even with that, she's immediately going to let me know with her body.
You'll trigger it. Yeah, I see. Yeah, 100%.
So then I know that then it's like a no risk way for me to tell not to go there.
Yeah, no, I see. Yeah. And for her as well, right? It makes it easy for her to communicate, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, without killing the vibe.
Totally. Bingo. Yeah. Because people make the mistake of thinking, or the thing that I really don't like that's been going around a lot these last couple of years is like, consent is sexy.
No, it's gay.
No, it's not though. It's really not. Like, there's a reason, and I'm going to sound like a complete degenerate here, but there's a reason there's a fetish called consensual non-consent. Like, is
that a thing?
That's a fetish, right? Which is basically a quote unquote grape fetish, right? Okay. These things. Women have these kinds of fetish. Not all women, obviously.
No, yeah.
a pretty significant percentage of the female population that has these kinds of fantasies. And they don't have to be the club party girls. They can be the innocent,
you don't know,
going girls too.
You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this idea of, I'm going to sit down with my partner and we're going to go through a checklist of everything I can and cannot do to her. Nothing is going to dry her vagina up more.
Yeah, that's going to be lame and gay. True.
Because she doesn't want a man who has to ask.
True.
She wants a man who just magically knows.
Yeah.
Exactly what she wants.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Right.
You get it.
Yeah. You have to, and that's okay. That kind of sucks for us as guys in this whole, in the post Me Too era, but sack up, man, just deal with it. You got to figure out a way around it. And these are some of the tools that I give guys to get around that.
So, I mean, is that one of the most often, if you would have to like list the most often made like sex mistakes that dudes make, is that one of those?
You know what? I think the most common mistake they make is they try too hard to please their partner.
Ooh.
They try too hard. They try too hard to get her off.
Yeah.
And they make it obvious that they're trying to get her off.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in doing so, what they actually do is they shoot themselves in the foot because they put the woman in her own head. I'm
sort of kneeling before you, hoping you approve.
Yeah, it's coming from that kind of approval-seeking frame, but it's also putting a lot of pressure on her.
Yeah,
because if
now you have to get off, right?
Right.
Yeah, true.
If a woman feels that you need her to orgasm, all that's going to do is make her like put her in her head, make her tense up, stop her from relaxing, stop her from engaging and being in the moment, being present, and it's actually going to make it way harder for her to orgasm in the first place.
That's very good. Yeah, it's interesting.
So you actually have to come at it from a completely different perspective. You have to come at sex from a very different.
So a lot of this stuff is counterintuitive, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Especially for us, like you see an obstacle, you figure out how to get through it or around it, and that's not the thing, right?
Yeah, because think about it this way: like if a woman wanted to get a dude off, if she just sat there and was like, "I want you to come. What do you want me to do?" I'm like, "Do this, this, and this. Let's go, baby."
It's easy. Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly.
No problem whatsoever.
Yes. I'll tell you exactly how. Yeah. Don't worry.
And it's super hot that you were asking.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. But with women, she is like because women, they tend to take a bit longer to orgasm than dudes do.
True.
And it's kind of like a build up, right? It's a process typically. She is going to attach a lot of nervousness and anxiety and pressure to you wanting to do it to her. So you kind of have to almost shock it into them a lot of the time by you just, and this is why I kind of teach guys to be a lot more animalistic and dominant when they're in the bedroom, because if you just take charge, if you just take control and you're moving around, tossing around the bedroom, having a great time, leading her that way, she hasn't got time to like think.
Yeah, to get
in her head.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just going with the flow. You're leading. She's going with the flow. She's present in the moment, and then you hit those sweet spots, right? And then bang, all of a sudden she's climaxing everywhere. It's
actually very similar to a date, right? Where you take her places, you place the order, you tell her what you're going to do. Yep. It's very similar, right?
I look at sex as like a reflection of the relationship on the outside. Like what happens in the bedroom is kind of like a mini representation of the relationship as a whole.
Wow.
That's so and it's a way to fix the relationship. I've had a lot of clients come to me and be like, "Yo, dude, I did what you said to do in the bedroom. All of a sudden, she's cooking again. She's cleaning again. Like she's not acting like a bitch.
Man,
Like all
Sterling,
of it,
I swear, man, I was in real estate for a long time. For like, I saw over 500 like divorces or like breakups up close. The most heard, like the thing that always came up was like, he's not a man anymore. Like I mean, he doesn't make me feel like a woman. He's not a man. He's exactly, and that's the thing, right? That's exactly the thing. Like he's not taking charge. There's no chemistry. There's nothing.
yep.
It just fizzles out.
And nothing is going to make her feel more like a woman and see you more as a man, as the man, than being that guy who just takes her in the bedroom.
100%.
Just being that guy who's totally unapologetic, is doing things like the way I kind of try to describe it for guys is thinking of her as your sexual muse.
Yes. Oh, beautiful.
Right? Like she is the thing that inspires your lust.
Yeah.
And she is like along for the ride on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
But you're the one in charge. You're the one who is creating the roller coaster.
Calling the shots. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Along for the ride the whole time.
I love that. No, that's beautiful. Sexual muse. Yeah. That's a beautiful phrase, man. I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's also at the same time, it's very animalistic. I mean, base level humanity, but it's also very poetic and beautiful at the same time, right?
I think it's getting back in touch with our true nature, I think.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because, I think of it like, okay, how would a caveman, engage with his cave woman?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Do you think he's going to like leave rose petals?
Bring flowers?
Yeah. No, he's going to grab her by the back of the hair and he's going to take her. And it's going to be this really like aggressive, animalistic thing, passionate, super passionate, right? And I think a lot of guys have the problem of thinking that kind of lovemaking is somehow like immoral.
Oh yeah.
Or somehow like makes them a bad man.
Yeah.
To even think that way.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell them that it's the complete opposite.
Counter the programming. I see what you mean. Yeah. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
And also don't run into like sexual assault charges at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to come at it with from an intelligent standpoint.
Don't be a moron.
Yeah. You've got to not be a moron. You've got to be able to read women's body language.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was saying, like, I was reading all the clues. Like, holy shit, was Sterling wrong? Yeah, you weren't wrong. That was a good thing.
Wasn't wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Very important. Yeah, it's not wrong. But you have to read the clues, though. I mean, you can't just go at it and just ignore everything else.
Like, I'm in a unique position where I have been with quite a lot of women.
Yeah.
In
at least 3.
In a lot of different contexts, too.
Yeah.
So like obviously on a porn set, dating life, swingers clubs, escorting, like I've seen a lot of different contexts, right?
Yeah.
And so my pattern recognition is super ingrained.
Yeah,
here.
True.
So
it's like training martial arts, right? Where you can just see the blow coming.
Yeah.
It's similar. Yeah.
Yeah. I can look at a girl and I can look at her body language and the way she's reacting to something, and I can be like, okay, this girl is gonna like this, this, and this. Just from experience.
Imagine for a second, because like a lot of my audience are young guys. I mean, I assume a lot of your audience are young guys as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a similar audience, and like how do you pick that up? How do you get into that?
You just need to get reps, man. Experience and reps, man. Like, because what you'll find, like there's two bits of experience you can get in the bedroom, right? There's the kind of experience you can get by having like one long-term partner.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of that is you can learn kind of more about your own body.
Yeah.
And how your own body responds and how to control it, how to control your breathing, how to control your sensations, how to not lose control, how to maintain your erection. These things are really good for you to learn when you have like one dedicated partner.
Yeah.
And then what you'll learn when you have, experience with multiple women is you'll start to see the patterns emerge. You'll start to see, well, a lot of women are very, very similar physically.
Yes.
Like they respond to the exact same things.
Yes.
Right? They basically all like having their hair pulled. They basically all like being spanked.
Yeah.
A lot of them like being choked.
Yeah.
Like you'll see these patterns again and again and again. And it's like, oh, okay, cool.
I know this. Yeah.
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 I've been here before. I've seen this playbook.
And like when you and I, like when we were younger, I mean, I don't know when Tinder and Bumble, etc., or even Instagram started.
Yeah.
It must have been a while ago.
Like Facebook started when I was in college, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, same here.
Yeah.
I mean, would you like? I did an interview with Prince Fortunatus a while ago. You know him, right?
Love Prince.
Yeah, cool guy. And we like we were talking, and I basically said like the game right now is pretty easy because you know you are someone, and you do cool things, and you know you have money, you have pictures, etc. But let's say we take, you know, we go back in time and we're both, I don't know, 20 years old, no money, whatever. Like, how do you stand out on the dating sites and Instagram, etc.? How do you do that?
It's tough, man.
Yeah, that's tough,
it's
right?
real tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back now. I mean, I wouldn't flip that switch, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think right now is probably the most challenging time for young men to get intimate with women. Yeah. And the data proves that. The data says that. I think it's like, I think I had this. I actually wrote this down for something completely unrelated. It was I don't want to get my statistic wrong by misquoting it.
For the people watching, it's pretty interesting that Stirling says that the data proves it. That tells you something about like him as a person, and
oh yeah,
the fact that he's not a moron at all. Like,
yeah. Thank you.
If you have any doubt, like, no, the guy's pretty smart. Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Like 1 out of 3 men under the age of 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year. 1 out of 3? 1 out of 3 men under 30.
Fuck's sake, man.
Have been sexless for the last 12 months.
God damn.
That is a lot.
Yeah, that's bad.
And then you consider that like, okay, like it's not like the other 2/3 are having sex all the time.
No.
There's another giant chunk of a third who've probably had sex once or twice in the last year.
Holy shit.
You know, and then it just, those numbers dwindle. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, we should go to sex communism. Just, you know, dole it out evenly.
Sex communism. Does that, if we did sex communism, would that mean that I would have to have sex with all the fatties and uglies?
I'm afraid so, man. Take one for the team, or take 16 for the team. You know. No, but no. That wouldn't be fair, though. That wouldn't be fair because the uglies and the fatties, if you're a woman, you can get sex anyway, right?
That's true.
It's not hard.
Yeah. To give some kind of answer to your question, though, I think for guys who are in their 20s, like young guys, right? I don't think it's even worth your time trying to compete on like Instagram and dating apps, because you're competing with a dude like me.
Yes. It's not
right?
fair.
It's an unfair game, and you're not going to win, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to win that game.
I mean, I was talking to Prince, right? And here's a guy, like he's 23. The guy is built like a brick shit house, like Hercules. The guy is unbelievable.
He's literally a Greek statue.
Yeah, he's making 6 figures a month. The guy is banned off Bumble because they thought he was catfishing. He was too pretty, right? I mean, you compete against him. How are you ever gonna win? That's not gonna happen.
Dude, I'm banned off Tinder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they think like I've had girls because they thought I was catfishing as myself.
I haven't been banned of anything. Like I'm way behind of you guys. Shit, man. I gotta get banned of something.
Trust me, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I'm a Tinder and Bumble peasant. It's really bad.
But I think younger guys, you're far better if you want to have a dating life, you want to have an intimate relationship with women.
Yeah,
I think younger guys are far better to spend some time just going up and talking to girls in real life. Like, go to the beach, go to the mall, go where women hang, like, and just, if you see a pretty girl, just walk up and say hi.
Yeah.
Because two things are going to happen. Like, one, you're going to desensitize yourself to that what we call, you call like approach anxiety, right? You're going to learn it's no big deal to get rejected. It's going to make you a stronger man, make you a lot more confident man. You're going to start to walk around with a bit of fucking swagger.
Yeah, balls.
With some balls.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, especially younger women these days, they don't get approached like that.
No.
Because their entire life is online on their phone. They're getting DMs on Instagram and they're getting DMs on Tinder and shit. Yeah. But how many dudes are walking up to them and saying hi? Not that many.
Very few.
So you're going to immediately stand out as the guy who actually had a pair of balls and went up and talked to her.
Yeah.
And then you can win her over with your personality.
100%.
You don't have to. You're not trying to play. You're not playing the same game that I'm playing, right?
Yeah.
You're not trying to play this like status game. You're playing, I'm the charming guy who had the balls to walk up to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you put me across from someone at the table, and you put like a very high status guy, but you put him in DMs, I'm gonna win because I'm there. Like, I'm me, right? I can win you over. It's easy.
Yep.
No, I agree 100%. And then if I for a second, if I take it away from the sex thing and I take it to like the business thing, like you did the paleo thing, and then you sort of went into the adult thing. If you're a young guy right now, with the internet being like it is, you studied chemistry, I don't know if it was in high school, university, or I don't know how all the names, right? But like, if you're let's say you're an 18, 19, 20-year-old guy, would you still go to university? Would you still pursue a degree or something, or would you do something else?
Yeah, man. I think the only point in actually going to university, the only degrees that are actually worth pursuing would be like doctor, engineer, maybe lawyer. That's really all you need a university for. Yeah. Like, there's no other reason. I don't think there's any other reason to go to university. Okay, well, like physicist.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you
can be a dentist without a degree, probably.
Even then, you don't even like, if you actually want to study science, you don't necessarily need to be in a university lab to study science. Yeah. Even then. But for anything else, any other money-making pursuit, you do not need to go to a traditional university. No chance. I wouldn't do it. Like, if let's say we press a button and I'm like 20 again, or 18 again, or whatever, I'm like, I ain't going to university. No, I'm not going to waste those 4 years. Instead, I'm going to find some kind of skill that is valuable in the real world that I can exchange, that I can use in exchange for money. And I think a lot these days, a lot of things that are kind of ignored by younger people are the kind of jobs that no one wants to do. Like, the guy who, I guarantee, the dude who runs the sewage company in your local town is a fucking millionaire. Yeah, true. I guarantee he is. I agree. Yeah. Like, think of all the non-glamorous things that no one wants to do. Someone is getting paid to do them, and they're probably getting paid a decent amount because no one wants to. Good amount of money. True. Yeah. Go where no one else wants to go. Everyone wants to be a TikTok influencer or a YouTuber and all this stuff. Yeah. Like, okay, that's well and good. Like, okay, if you like, some people have a knack for that. Some people are genuinely entertaining. Fine. Yeah. Most people aren't. And if you're not really going to get anywhere pretending to be a fucking dancing clown on the internet trying to entertain people. Yeah. I think, and this is the route I've gone. Like, I spent a large chunk of my life developing a very, very specific skill set. Yeah. And now I teach that. Right. Yeah. But I couldn't teach what I teach if I hadn't had the years of experience learning the skill set in the first place. And also to back it up, right? You are someone. Yeah. Yeah. And so I think if for any young guys who kind of want to, you know, get into the online space or the info product space or anything like that, like as in creating your own products, you need to develop a skill set first and have competency and have receipts.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Before you can go out and actually start teaching people shit.
Yeah.
Because one of my least favorite things on the planet is something that I call the perpetual circle of uselessness.
Tell us about the perpetual cycle.
The perpetual circle of uselessness is when you have some kid who's like, I'm going to teach you how to make money online.
Yeah.
By teaching you how to teach a course on how to teach other people how to make money online. It's just this uselessness.
Like a circle jerk.
Yeah. And no one is actually doing anything. It's so annoying.
Yes.
I see that.
No, I agree 100%. And this has been around for ages, right? This isn't something new. Like this happens all the time.
No. But the stuff, you know, like the stuff that you guys teach in HU, like these are money-making skills that guys can take and apply right now in the real world and actually turn a profit on.
Yeah, true. Like I met all the professors. I think I met all of them, and like all of them are making money doing what, you know, they're teaching, and it actually works. Like they're not circle jerking each other off, saying, you know, let's know.
Yeah, like in a lot of cases they're conflicting.
Yeah,
they're throwing back and forth conflicting ideas, which is even better.
Yeah, you know? True. Yeah, so you can sort of make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that came up for me. What made you decide to get out of being an adult actor? Like, when did you really make the decision?
Well, this is when I got canceled. So
we almost missed that. Holy shit.
So I asked. Yeah. So I was in Portugal, having a fantastic summer.
Yeah.
Eating juicy steaks, sparring, boxing on the beach, loving life.
Yeah, all sorts of juicy stuff. I get it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I was actually I was in the middle of launching my second info product. Yeah. It was a video course, right? I was in the middle of this launch. And I'd scheduled out some tweets to just in general, like some kind of controversial stuff, trying to get something a little bit more edgy, trying to get some traction, trying to get some attention on Twitter for a bit. And what I did was I'd written a bunch of tweets like a month before. Yeah. And I'd scheduled them out on my Twitter, and I'd forgotten what I'd written.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, okay.
I go to sleep. I go to sleep on Portugal time, and I wake up the next morning, and I check my Twitter, and it's something like 500 retweets on a tweet, and I'm like,
this is gonna be good.
This is unusual. This is not normal.
Yes.
What did I say? And I'm going through the mentions on my Twitter, and it's just like every girl I have worked with calling me a piece of shit. And I'm like, this ain't good. Just scrolling. I can't even. To this day, I still have not seen all of the replies. I couldn't see all the replies and all the mentions, all the retweets, the quote retweets, all this crap. Yes. And I look at the tweet, and the tweet was, and I didn't think it was that bad. The tweet was, if she calls herself a queen, a princess, a bad bitch, or a brat, then she's probably not relationship material.
Ooh, yeah. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Like, look, I'm saying is don't date a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what I'm saying. But unfortunately, basically all the girls in the porn industry are narcissists. And they basically all use those descriptors to describe themselves.
Oh my God! Yeah,
they basically all refer themselves. So I alienated myself from the entire LA, specifically the LA industry. The LA industry.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to call up my agent. I'm like, all right, damage control, what's going on? And he said, no joke. My agent was like, I think you should issue some kind of public apology. And I'm like, I am not.
Nah.
Mark, there's nothing on this planet that could make me want to issue a public apology for really just tweeting out a joke.
It's true. Right?
Like my integrity is a lot like my peace of mind, my integrity, and my free speech is a lot more important to me.
100%. Yeah.
And so for me, it was kind of the big push I really needed. So I was literally in the middle of this product launch.
Yeah.
And that happened.
What product was it?
Sexual Dominance Escalation, my video course, where I actually teach a lot of the stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The stuff that I didn't get in jail for. That's what's good.
Exactly.
That stuff. Yeah. Good.
And that product launch, this was kind of when I knew that, oh shit, this is where I need to be focusing. I need to get out of trading my time for money on a porn set.
Yeah.
And I need to be focusing all my time and attention on this info product YouTube business. Because I did like multiple 6 figures in like a week.
But that was the real thing, right? You were trading time for money, and now you're trading information. Like you're free from the time for money equation, right?
I mean, I still it's kind of weird when to use that way of describing, because I still put time into things.
Obviously. Yeah.
But it's not like, okay, it's kind of harder to measure how much my time is worth per hour now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the money machine runs in the background, and I spend my time on growing the audience or growing the funnel, for example. Right. Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah. I was actually, I'm editing some stuff, but I was recording some HU stuff, and one of the things that is about the 1-step versus 2-step lead funnel, where 1 step is like you trying to sell someone something directly, like, buy my shit, and the 2-step is like, get on my list, and then and that's the key, right?
That's how I do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how most successful business people do it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, because you can sell them again and again and again. You have a captive audience. Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, I'm a massive. I never would have thought of myself as, like 2 years ago, if you told me you're basically going to be an email marketer, Stirling, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
2 years ago, right?
Two. That's effectively
such a short time.
Yeah, your life can totally change in a very short space of time.
That's so beautiful, man. Like 2 years ago. Holy
put
shit.
the right if you pay attention to what is really moving the lever in your business and focusing on that thing.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really quick. I figured out really quickly, if I just add more people to the email list, then the money printer goes up.
Yeah, exactly. It's the funnel, right?
Put more people on top. It's not really that complicated.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And I would have never, if you'd also told me like that email marketing would still work in the day of the age of like TikTok.
Yeah.
I would have said bullshit.
Yeah, you're insane.
But here's the insight I've had since I've really understood this, is that the kind of people who have money and who spend money, they read emails.
Yes.
The kind of guy who's a very good customer is probably sitting at a desk, working a 9 to 5. He has probably a white collar worker, has some disposable income, and he reads emails regularly.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
so he is actually a great customer.
Yeah. And the guy is actually interested in what you have to say, right? It's not like a 30-second interest span, like a 30-minute maybe. I want to hear what you have to say because I trust you.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Exactly. No, I couldn't agree more. And then and that's that's the reason why I started out saying like you're actually a business dude, because I assume that's sort of what you had to learn when you came out of the business, right? Where you have all this expertise and now you have to funnel it into something that's actually productive.
You know what? I actually going right back to the beginning to one of my first mentors, Craig Ballantyne.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually 10 years ago, before I even applied any of this stuff, I had learned about what copywriting was, what email autoresponders were, what a lead magnet was.
Yes.
I learned all these principles years ago.
Yeah.
And then I found myself in this situation where, I have this knowledge.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually in a position to use all this. And bingo, which is a turnkey moment. I was like, I know exactly what to do here.
Yeah. Beautiful. like, let me, I mean, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let me ask you like a one last question. When like when I'll include all your socials in the description, but when people look at your like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, it seems like, I mean, your life is like a nonstop party, and I assume that's not real. There's got to be some work in there, right?
I cleverly make it look that way.
Okay. Yeah, that's a real relief for me.
Oh, dude, I probably party less than most people, man. I really don't party that much.
Because when I see you, like, you're not always boozed. Like, I'm boozing more than you do. Like,
yeah, you probably do. Most of my day is spent at this computer, like talking to my employees, typing shit, figuring stuff out, working. Yeah. Honestly.
No, I mean, and that's something that a lot of young guys look at, either like you or Justin or Tate or whoever, and then it's like, yeah, I want to drive to Bugatti, I want to go to the nightclubs, I want to drink the champagne, etc. And that's great, yeah, but that's not life. That's not real. I mean, it is real. You are really there. You're not photoshopped or CGI'd in there. I'm pretty sure you're there, really. But that's not the daily reality, is it?
No, and I think let me give everyone watching a bit of an insight, for what I know about Andrew.
Yeah.
Right. Because Andrew, he does, obviously, he goes on car rallies. He flies, has a very, very fun life. But I know that when Andrew is in work mode, all he's doing is sitting there in front of a computer, working his ass off, like 12, 16 hours a day when it's go time.
Yeah.
And then when this, because he's got a lot of employees, when the machine's running and everything's going fine, cool, he enjoys his life.
Yeah.
But when shit needs to get done, he's there. Right. He's not slacking off. He's there right in front of the computer, working, grinding and hustling. And if you think about when Andrew made his millions, his first millions, the dude was sleeping like 4 hours a day.
Yeah, it wasn't easy times, right?
Like him and his brother were working like 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
When one was awake, one was asleep, like switching back and forth non-stop for like a few years.
Yeah.
Like that's the level of intensity that it takes to live the kind of to have that Bugatti, to live the kind of lifestyle where it looks like you're not working. And I think we kind of do a lot of young people an injustice by not being honest about that, by just because, like you said, they see the Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
They think, oh, I just need to flex and magically money will appear.
Yeah. No,
like there's a whole lot that went into being able 100%. To afford that private jet. Right.
No, I mean, I agree completely. And it's in a way, like it's similar to, I had a while in HU where people had this idea of like, I'm just going to be an asshole against anyone, and I'm just going to be a piece of shit or a cunt. And then I had to tell them, like, dude, I mean, people like me and Stirling and Justin and Andrew, we're not cunts against people. We're usually pretty fucking nice, really.
Yeah.
Very friendly. Yeah, that's the default programming. Like, I'm very friendly against anyone.
It makes people want to do business with you.
Yes. I don't punch people in the face just for fun. That's not my thing. But it's the limited Instagram lifestyle that people see, and that's not real at all.
No.
Yeah. No. I mean, that I think that's that's a great way to end this. I mean, I very much appreciate you coming on, Stirling. I had a great time.
So did I.
As always. Looking forward to see you again, and I'll be in touch with you to see like which stuff I need to put in the description. But thanks a lot for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye now.